Welcome to the official Season 1 release of Marvel Rivals. Today is January 10th, 2025, and we start the first half of the first season right now. The second half will be in a month and a half, so around late February to March. If you have no idea what the fork I'm talking about, or you just have no clue what Rivals is, I recommend you watch my Rivals video, explaining everything important in the game as a baseline to this video. Anyways, let's see what's new. The OGs are in the house! The Fantastic 2, Invisible Woman, and Mr. Fantastic have joined the cast today. The other two Fantastics will be added in the second half of Season 1. So, let's talk about the first two. Each one of them is releasing with a new skin in the shop. Mr. Fantastic is getting the Maker, and Invisible Woman is getting, Malice. Anyways, these are available in the shop right now for about 1,600 units, or $16. Of course, the characters aren't just here for the cosmetics. They each boast impressive abilities, with Mr. Fantastic being a duelist and Invisible Woman being a strategist. Let's get into each of them. Flubber. Mr. Fantastic uses his stretchiness to punch enemies as his primary attack. His secondary attack allows him to entangle an enemy. You can either pull them towards you, or you can select another enemies and smash them both together. His first ability is Reflexive Rubber, which allows him to absorb damage and launch it back after a set amount of hits. His secondary ability, Flexible Elongation, allows you to gain a shield after selecting a target and then dash towards them. If he targets an ally, he'll grant them shields as well, without doing damage. And his ultimate Brainiac Bounce bounces him up into the air, allowing him to smash down onto the ground, slowing and doing damage to enemies. If he manages to get a hit, then he can leap again until he misses. Lastly, Mr. Fantastic's team-up ability is Wedded Harmony. As you can guess, it's with the Invisible Woman. She taps into her powers and grants Mr. Fantastic damage resistance. Once it's activated, he can continually generate bonus health, making up for the lost health. Oh, and not to forget his passive, Elastic Strength. Upon using his abilities, he gains elasticity. More elasticity grants a damage boost, and once it reaches the max, he'll go into an inflated state, granting him shield and even more damage. Let's go to his wife, Invisible Woman. Invisible Woman is a strategist, which means that she has the ability to heal. She can do this with her primary. She launches a force field that damages enemies or heals allies before returning to her. Her secondary primary is the Guardian Shield, which generates a force field in front of a selected ally. The shield blocks damage and provides healing over time to nearby allies. Enemies are slowed when attempting to pass through it. Her first ability, Psionic Vortex, creates a bubble in which a vortex is created. This vortex draws in enemies and causes damage to all inside of it. She can trigger this by hitting an enemy, scene, or just reactivating it. Her secondary ability, Force Physics, manipulates psionic energy to push or pull enemies from you. Primary key pushes and secondary key pulls. Her melee launches enemies away from her on the third hit. She also has an extra movement ability, allowing her to double jump by creating a force field at her feet. Along with that, she also has a passive, Covert Advance. Covert Advance places her in an invisible state after disengaging from combat. She can heal herself over time in this state. And lastly, her ultimate, Invisible Boundary, creates a cylindrical force field over a chosen area, rendering allies and enemies undetectable by enemies outside of it. Enemies passing through are slowed down. She also has her team-up ability with Mr. Fantastic, granting her a 15% healing bonus for the season. Whew, that was a lot, but so is this update. So let's continue with our good pal, the Battle Pass. Necessary Evil, Season 1. As I mentioned in my base video, Marvel Rivals has a Battle Pass, our favorite Necessary Evil of all free-to-play games. In this Battle Pass, you will get 10 unique skins. These skins are for Loki, Moon Knight, Rocket Raccoon, Penny Parker, Magneto, Namor, Iron Man, Adam Warlock, Scarlet Witch, and Wolverine. All of them are fun skins, with most having MVP animations and extra little cosmetics to go along with them. The Battle Pass this season is 990 lattice, or $9.90. You can always go back and finish it later if you don't have the time. You'll gain 600 lattice and 600 units in this premium battle pass. That means you'd still have to purchase lattice for the next season's battle pass if you are interested in that. If you don't want to purchase the premium battle pass, you could still earn free stuff, plenty of cosmetics, as well as 400 units and 200 lattice. Of course, the game has missions to gain chrono tokens, which are used to purchase items in the battle pass. If you had chrono tokens before, they have been reset to 0, as they cannot exceed the season's current redemption account balance. Whatever the fuck that means. Let's get into the main event of the season. Blood Moon over the Big Apple. Oh goodness. Manhattan has been trapped in an eternal state of night. Whatever will we do? Well, frankly, it's up to you. The Midnight Features event is active for the next 27 days, ending on February 7th at 9 a.m. UTC +0. The new map added during the event, Empire of Eternal Night, Midtown, is where you'll complete most of the event quests. Along with one of the coolest offensive-sided spawns, the map also has a special new feature: Recursive Destruction. Usually, structures in a regular match regenerate a bit after time, and are the exact same after they finish regenerating. Now, on Midtown, you can trigger a recursive event to permanently change that section of the map, such as Tony Stark's armor being pulled out of the Grand Central Station and being replaced to its original state of being. You'll be able to spot these recursive destruction spots with your chronovision. Instead of appearing yellow, it'll appear red. Hit it enough, it'll activate, fixing everything up. However, you need to have passed a certain point for it to be achievable. Another cool thing added was the mode Doom Match. In Doom Match, you'll face off against 11 other players in an attempt to be in the top 50%, basically like a deathmatch. Each kill is a singular point, and the person with 16 points ends the match. Now, Doom Match takes place on Empire of Eternal Night, Sanctum, Sanctorum, a very intricate map with portals leading around and out of the Sanctum. Get lost with stairs on the walls, doorways on the ceiling, and a leap of faith into the void. Let's get into these changes, shall we? Marvel Rivals has balanced a bunch of characters, and tweaked a few things that just weren't right in the first season. For accessibility, mouse acceleration has been added as a toggleable setting, thank goodness. And now you can turn certain graphic settings off, like anti-aliasing and reflection quality. Very useful for those with a 1080 Ti. In matches, there's now a Get Unstuck feature. If you find yourself stuck in a wall or on an edge, you can return to your spawn room. In each hero's ability tab, you can now view their recommended combo. Competitive now has a new rank, Celestial. This rank falls between Grandmaster and Eternity, creating 3 new divisions for players to battle through. All players have been demoted by 7 divisions. If you ended at Gold 3, you are now Bronze 2. But that means that there are more ranks to earn a free skin at. Starting at Gold 3, you can earn the Blood Shield Invisible Woman skin if you finish the season at that rank. Factions now have spectating channels, where you can chat with the other spectators watching the match. And streamers now have a mode to hide their names so players don't send crazy amounts of friend requests. Now, we must talk about all the heroes getting changed. Pretty much everyone got a buff or a nerf, so I'll quickly gloss over all of them. For the Vanguards, Captain America got a buff, reducing the shield restoration delay, reducing the cooldown on Liberty Rush, and increasing his base health, as well as reducing the energy requirement for his ult. Doctor Strange now has damage fall off when using his ult or secondary ability, and has a reduced shield recovery rate. Thor now has 525 health, up from 500, and added immunity to control effects during his ultimate. Hulk has had a reduction to his Gamma Shield, and Venom has gotten increased returns for his bonus health ability, and increased his ultimate ability's damage. For the Duelists, Black Panther got reduced healing from his abilities. Black Widow got a buff to the range of Edge Dancer, reduction of time for the recovery for her Fleetfoot, and reduction of time to reach maximum power in her ultimate. Hawkeye got balanced by reducing the angle between each explosive arrow, reducing the triggering distance of his passive, and reducing the maximum additional damage from his passive. Hela got her max health reduced. Magic got her damage increased while in her Dark Child form. Moon Knight got a buff to his ultimate, now generating more talons in a wider space. Namor got adjusted to more accurately throw his eggs. Psylocke got a nerf in that her ultimate can now be blocked by shields. The Punisher got a reduction to his shotgun spread. Scarlet Witch has been balanced to do more damage during chaos control, but reducing the damage per second, and increased her projectile damage. Storm got a projectile buff in speed and damage. She also does more bolt rush damage, and her ultimate now gives more bonus health. Squirrel Girl's ultimate now targets the nearest enemy instead of bouncing randomly with a reduced health. Winter Soldier now has increased health and damage from his abilities, but now has a reduced area of effect damage for farther targets. Wolverine now has more health, but a reduction in damage during Undying Animal. Cloak and Dagger now have a reduced cooldown for Dagger Storm, and now have an extra dash during their ultimate, as well as a faster transition between Cloak and Dagger. Jeff the Landshark's ultimate has now been adjusted from a spear to a cylinder, along with a buff to Joyful Splash, the healing ability. Luna Snow has had a nerf to increase the time between ultimate mode switches. Mantis's passive movement bonus has been reduced, and Rocket Raccoon now has better healing capabilities. And for the team-ups, Hawkeye has had a reduction in his season bonus damage, Hela has had a reduction in her season bonus damage, Namor now has more damage and more slowing effect to his team-up abilities. Rocket now has a lower cooldown on his Ammo Overload team-up ability. Magneto now gets an increased damage boost to his team-up abilities. and Storm gets reduced cooldown and increased damage to her team-up abilities. Alright, that was a lot, but that's Season 1 for you. And don't forget, Twitch has new armor rival drops. Watch for 30 minutes to get a spray, watch for an hour to get a nameplate, and watch for 4 hours to get the new Hela costume on participating channels. And here's Jeff stealing snacks after rebuilding. Check in for the next update when you hear it. See you soon.